with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Okay? That represents the gallon. And then take another 12 by 12 sheet of paper and divide it into 4 equal segments. Okay? They equal the quarts. And the reason they're the same piece of paper is what?
How it's broken down.
Yeah, because they're the same quantity, right? The gallon is the same quantity as 4 quarts. Take another sheet of paper that's the same size and divide it into eighths. I'm running out of room here. And those are the pints, okay? And then take another sheet of paper and divide it into 16 pieces. And those are the cups. So how many cups are in a gallon? 16 cups in a gallon. How many pints are in a gallon? How many quarts in a gallon? 4. Okay, so that's a way to help your students see equivalent measures. And that helps with the traditional, the English, the U.S. measurement system. However, as you look at the standards, not only do the Kentucky Academic Standards call out that you know how to teach your students how to use the English measures, that's what they're called, but you also need to teach them about the metric system. And that's where a lot of you all seem to struggle. So I'm not going into all that right now. I'm going to make it a lot easier for you than that. Because that would make you go, oh, what? All right, here is how I would teach my elementary students the metric system. We're looking at the prefixes of the metric system. And the U isn't the prefix, but the U is the unit. All right? So if we're measuring mass, it's gram. If we're measuring volume, it's liter. And if we're measuring, what am I missing? Distance, it's meter. Okay? So the U is the unit. The biggest unit that you need to concern yourself with is the prefix kilo or kilo. Hecto. Deca. Dessa. Centa. And milla. So those are the prefixes that you have to work with. So you're thinking, gosh, I can't remember that. That's too much to remember. Well, it's really easy to remember that King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. And every year, without fail, when I would teach my students that, one of the students would raise their hand and say, did he really? Every year.
Oh, I've done this.
Every year. God love them. Kids are so funny. All right. When I teach something, I always start with something that you're already familiar with, okay? Hi,
I was just gonna say we was having chapel at 7:15.
7:15, got it, thank you. So if I wanted to know, three feet is how many inches? Okay? What do you need to know to solve that problem?
How many inches is a foot?
How many inches are in a foot? And the answer to that is 12. So then the next thing you need to know is, so do I multiply by 12 or do I divide by 12? I can't remember. So here's how you remember. Everybody needs to stand up. You're going to teach elementary school, right? So you have to have a flair for the dramatic, right? That's the reality of the situation. All right, so if you're going from big feet to little inches, right? That's what we're doing. Big feet to little inches, you multiply. Okay, so everybody do it with me. Big to little, multiply. Okay? Big to little, multiply. So for this one, and by the way, what we're doing right now, this is procedural, right? This is procedural. So we're taking 3 feet times 12 inches to get 36 inches, right? Okay, don't sit down yet. But what if I want to go 36 inches is how many feet? I still need to know the 12, and I still have to know, do I multiply, do I divide? I don't remember how to, I don't know. This is the dramatic part. All right, so we go big to little, multiply. You ready to be with me? You're going to go little to big, divide. And if you don't use your foot, it doesn't work. Try again. Big to little, multiply. Little to big, divide. And what are these two things?
That's the
They're the dots on the division sign, right? Yeah, so that's how you teach your students. Big to little, you multiply. Little to big, you divide. So now, I can remember that I'm going from little inches to big feet, so I divide, and I get 3.
You know what? I teach high school, and they still have trouble with this. And I have rowdy boys, and they will remember that.
Yeah, they will.
I like that.
Yeah, they will. Here's the thing. What we teach them in elementary school, she can use in high school. Because if they didn't get it in elementary school, they might need to get it in high school.
And I have seniors who are trying to be college ready for school accountability. And I mean, that would give them some math done, their conversions.
So big to little multiply, little to big divide. And yes, the foot makes the difference. That stomp, you gotta do it. All right, so teacher talk. When you teach something new to your students, relate it to something they already know first, okay? So now we're gonna convert the metric system, because you all were like, ah, on that pretest, weren't you? Ah!
I feel like I'm like that all the time.
Well, you won't be by the end of the semester. That's the great thing. All right, so my question is, I have something that's 23 kilograms, and I want to know how many grams is it? So here's what you do. Did you put this stair step on your paper? Good. If you didn't, put it on there. I'll give you a minute to get it on there because you need that. Okay, so with that stair step, you need to find 2 things. You need to find where you're starting and where you're ending. So we're starting up here at kilogram, right? So we're going to put 23, and we're ending at gram. But, oh, there's not a G on here. Remember, the G is a unit. So, how do I get from here to there? I'm gonna step down once, I'm gonna step down twice, and I'm gonna step down 3 times. Here's the magic of the metric system. When you look at those English measures, you have to remember 16 ounces in a pound, and 36 inches in a yard, and 12 inches in a 12 inches in a foot, and 5,280 feet in a mile, and 1,760 yards in a mile, and 60 minutes in an hour, and 60 seconds in a minute. You have all these weird numbers to remember, right? The metric system, you have to remember one number. What is it?
10.
10. 10. You already know it now. 10. So, am I going from big to little, or am I going from little to big?
Big to little.
I'm going big to little. So when I go big to little, we know that we multiply. And I just told you the magic number is 10. So every step I take, I'm multiplying by 10. So 23 times 10 is 230. 230 times 10 is 2,300. 2,300 times 10 is 23,000 grams.
You always use 10?
Always. Always. Now, that's how I would start teaching students to convert the metric system. But once students have a better understanding of that, then I would go to, instead of multiplying by 10, just add a 0 for every step. But that would be later, once they understand what we're doing here. Seems like there was something else I wanted to say.
If they're good at decimals, the way I've seen a lot of kids do it, and the way I do it is I just go through the horizontal and I go 1, 2, 3, and I move the decimal 1, 2, 3, and I fill in the zeros.
Good, good, good,
We
good.
call that the metric slider at the high school.
Uh-huh, sure. Okay, so here's what I was gonna say. Some students get confused because they might say that it was 230,000. Here's the thing that you wanna tell them. You count the steps you take. You don't count where you started as a step. You see what I'm saying? Some students would say, count 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of 1, 2, 3 steps. You with me? Do you see what I'm saying? Kids will do that. All right, so I want you to try this one on your own.
So 3 steps, when you 3 zeros again?
Correct. 75 hectoliters is how many centiliters?